Welcome, guys. Day 6. What a day of cricket. Uh, Firstly, the half 10 start. I'm not getting used to that because obviously we start cricket at 11 o'clock UK time. But then the half 10 start by 11 o'clock, we've lost a couple of wickets. And then it's game on with Rishabh Pant. In the house, we have Romit. Romit, your thoughts on today? It's what a game.
Exactly. Like I feel the New Zealand bowlers have up to the mark. They have like troubled our batters and all. We have seen they've bowled really well, although it being the conditions for favoring batting because today is the only sunny day and this is a brilliant day for batting. But still, their bowlers have outplayed our batters and really. But I'm really disappointed with like Virat Kohli and Chiteshwar Pujara. Like they both, as I've mentioned, that they both have been struggling with the bat since 2020, and Pujara, if you see, since his last 29 innings, he has been struggling. And also, so these two batters, if they don't score runs for us in the middle order, we are actually in trouble in most of the matches. And if you see Virat Kohli, he's only averaging 24 since 2020. So really, I thought Virat would be in his top of his game today because he scored a good 44 last innings. He looked in control. So today also Jamieson getting him out, and if you see Virat has a tendency to get out like this. Like whenever the ball bounces too much, he tries to get away from it, but he gets his bat in the middle. So that's why getting Virat out and also Pujara and Rahane getting out so terribly, like after playing such a good shot, and he's getting out to a ball on at his leg. So that was really bad for us. But still, to be optimistic, Pant and Jadeja can turn out something good for us. Like we saw Ashwin and Vihari doing something in Australia and saving that test match. So we have Ashwin also. So if we have a good, brilliant batting session, then we can make it out and can go for the draw. That is the best win for India for going for the draw.
Going for the draw, sounds very conservative to me. Obviously, the match is in an interesting position now where three results are still possible. Imam Bhai, give us some positivity, yaar.
Sandy Paji, I think this is going to be. I think somehow all the stars have aligned for us to give us a result because first of all, seeing so much of sunshine in England is is something I need to pinch myself. It's so much of sunshine on today being the last day. Considering that we are in a position that we are, I think it's absolutely mouth watering. The last two sessions will be fantastic. I don't think anybody will go for a draw at this point of time. India with Jadeja and Pant definitely would be looking for a victory now. They wouldn't have been if, let's say, Virat and Pujara were playing. It's a strange thing which I'm saying, but it is true because Jadeja and Pant will now definitely go for runs. Another 70, 80 runs, and then giving New Zealand, let's say, 190 or 200 in 45 overs, there is a chance for a collapse. And Nasser Hussain has been saying since day two that there is a collapse on this pitch. There is a collapse coming. It might be India, it might be New Zealand. Was not sure, but he said this on air. So I still think that India can win this. Thanks to Southee that he dropped Pant. Otherwise, we would have been in a soup right now. Now that Pant is batting along with Jadeja, I think that we definitely can still win this.
Yes, and that drop catch could prove costly because, to be fair, it was quite an easy, straightforward slip catch, and that was dropped. And then Pant has gone on to score another 23 runs or so on top of that score. So realistically, that could be the game-changing moment. Sid, to you in Mumbai, you was watching this game, and what was your feelings when all these wickets were going? Do you think India had lost, or do you think there is a comeback on the cards?
See, I never write off Team India, especially Rishabh Pant and Ravindra Jadeja at the crease. Till they both are there, I'm sure the next 1 hour after lunch is very good. It's going to be very critical. Another 50, 60, 70 runs, and I'm sure as Nasser Hussain said on air, that it's going to be a collapse. If Ishant Sharma and the rest of the bowlers are at the right, they bowl the right way, the right length, I'm sure England will collapse. It's just a matter of time that, there should be at least a lead of 180 to 200, and I'm sure India could win also. You never know. I'm not going to back. I'm not going to write off India because the way they have showed character in Sydney and Australia, I'm sure go India go. So for me, it's
India
still
go,
India.
India go. So all of India will now be praying for a New Zealand collapse. It looks like. Happy birthday, Upayan! Upayan is
Thank
our
you so
birthday.
much. Thank you so much.
I know you was, very emotional with that Super Bowl video, with your views. We won't go into that one, and I don't want to get you into trouble. But what was your views today? You was going a bit wild on the thingy. Sack Kohli, Sack Shastri was all back on the cards. Are you still saying sacking Kohli?
Well, Virat Kohli's captaincy hasn't really. I mean, I can't really find a fault in Virat Kohli's captaincy on the field. Leadership wise, at least with the bat, maybe there might be some questions. But, overall, I think his captaincy, there wasn't really any questions. I think he's just one fine leader as far as, making the field placements or the bowling changes are concerned. I think he's done really well there. Batting wise, I don't really know. I mean, I'm kind of worried that I might never get to see Virat Kohli's 71st century. I might never get to see the Virat Kohli that I grew up watching because this is a very different kind of Virat Kohli. Earlier, that aggression that he had, that is for now. I mean, I can only find that when he's fielding, when he's leading the side on the field. But when he's with the bat, I find him having a much more cautious approach. I don't know, like probably a few things have changed after he's become a father. I understand that, but the Virat Kohli that I am seeing is somebody who's a different Virat Kohli. I don't know what the future lies ahead for him. I don't know how long he'll be playing, but I don't really see him, being India's primary batsman that he used to be. Regarding other things, Sack Kohli, Sack Shastri. See, Shastri is great at man management. You can't deny that. When India needed him the most after that 36 for 9 debacle, I think it was Shastri who stepped up and actually helped the team. So I really can't say that Shastri is not doing the right things individually. But again, when he's backing his backroom staff, when he's choosing guys like Sanjay Bangar and Vikram Rathore as your batting coach, guys who have absolutely no idea when it comes to playing in these conditions. I mean, how many matches have they played in New Zealand and England? And India has consistently, they've faltered we have seen these batting collapses happening in these conditions. We've mastered in Australia, we have done well in subcontinent, but when it comes to the ball moving a bit around the bat in these conditions, I think India has faltered a lot. And if your batting coaches haven't been able to figure out these things, then it's high time you choose the right person. And BCCI is allowing right people. It's not like the BCCI hasn't looked after India's best interests. But if Shastri keeps on backing guys like Vikram Rathore, if he keeps bringing in guys like R. Sridhar, the fielding coach also, I think India is in deep trouble. And he really needs to make a tough decision right now. So
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing that you put because England are now bringing professionals from those countries into their batting lineup. So in their coaching lineup. So realistically, for courses approach, as you always say, is get some of those people experienced in those conditions into your coaching setup. Even if it's for a 2-month, 3-month stay. South Africa is one place where we need to win. And obviously, England being so different, that is the other problem. Go to you, Sanjay. Jameson was amazing this morning. What does he have for his breakfast? And is Virat Kohli his bunny?
Yeah, that is something which is unexpected because Jamieson has Virat Kohli for the third time. Even from the NZ tour, he took Virat Kohli's wicket, the first innings and even the second innings. But being a fan of Virat Kohli, I would just tell that was a stupid shot to play against Jamieson. Knowing that, keeping in mind that New Zealand slip fielding percentage, pushing the ball to third man or pushing the ball to square was not necessary. So that was a foolish shot. If Virat would have stayed, I think he would have anchored well. So at present, it is Jadeja and Pant who is going good. So if as Imam Bhai and Siddharth said, if they anchor the innings for another 100, 120 runs, give them target of 180, 200, I think the collapse is happening for sure because there is no much swing. Only Jamieson is able to swing. Even Southee has lost his swing now. So I think players like Ashwin and Jadeja will come into the picture and they'll be the key players for us.
Yes, and that's with the sun shining in the UK. Suddenly, you might see some of those footmarks starting to turn, and the spinners will be in the prime. Or some kid to yourself. You're now the captain of India. How are you going to approach, or what are you going to tell Jadeja and Pant? We were seeing Pant charge against Wagner a few times, a couple of near misses on the runouts. What should be their approach?
If I were Kohli, I would be very realistic right now because the chances of winning are very bleak. So the only so majority I think is the possibility of is a draw because we'll be having around 28 overs in the next session, and if India has to give a target, it has to be at least of 180 runs. So to score 80 runs in 20, if we take also 20 overs into consideration, then New Zealand will bat 43 overs. And to get out that New Zealand attack in 43 overs is very risky. But I will say at least bat for 20 overs, try to get in as many runs, and then we can take a call. So the first hour is definitely going to be crucial. If we lose Pant and Jadeja in quick successions, we might even lose this. So my suggestion to Pant and Jadeja will be play it out as you are. Don't go into a shell, but don't take the extra risk to go for a win.
Okay, so Samkit is taking the cautious approach as well. A lot of Indians seem to be taking the cautious approach. Chris, as a neutral fan in this game, what's your views? Did you enjoy the match? Have you been watching it? And what do you think? Who's in control of this match?
Good day, good day to all of the Indian fans, and welcome to sunny England last. Well, as a new people, who would have thought the game would be like this on the extra day? I do believe the next hour or the first hour after lunch is crucial. If India can stay there, put a minimum of 150 on the board, that would give their bowling attack and their something to go. Will the pitch turn on day 6? Would the pitch have turned on day 5 had they played yesterday? Will the pitch turn on day 6? It's interesting that at the very start of this, you did not pick a spin. And I do notice that a lot of the Indian fans were saying, well, that's a big mistake. Big mistake. They've gone with a pace attack. It now transpires that it probably is a pace pitch. But have the Indian team got the pace bowlers to knock New Zealand all out or reduce them to less than 150 or even 180? I think if India put a lead of 180 on the board, that's going to be too. That nobody wanted. Unfortunately, the south coast of England, in particular Southampton, have not had the greatest of weathers, but that could have happened anywhere. I think if India can put 150 minimum on the board, that could be a score for them to defend.
Yeah, so it looks like 150 is the bare minimum score India need to get, and maybe 180 will change that. Anuj, to yourself, you're looking at this game on a basis, who won that session? Was it India's session, or do you think New Zealand are now in control of this match?
I think as of now, New Zealand are on top, I would say, because अगर पंत और जडेजा आने वाले सेशन में जल्दी आउट हो जाते हैं, then you will see that New Zealand will be going for a chase for sure. अभी भी जो सिचुएशन है उसके हिसाब से I guess 50 रन या 60 रन और बोर्ड पे अगर हम लगा दें, अगर 45 से 50 ओवर भी न्यूजीलैंड को मिलते हैं, then I guess थोड़ा बहुत सैंडविच हो जाएगा न्यूजीलैंड के लिए उसको चेस करना कि यार जीत के लिए जाए या ड्रॉ के लिए खेलिए. अगर इंडिया जो है जल्दी विकेट ले लेता है, so it's going to be a very interesting session, I would say, जो अगला सेशन होने वाला है. As of now, New Zealand is far ahead if you see, and pretty much disappointed, the way Virat and Pujara got out. I think Pujara तो शेल में चले जा रहे हैं. उनको बताना पड़ेगा कि थोड़ा रोटेट भी करना स्ट्राइक को. पिछले इंग्लैंड के आप इससे देख सकते हैं जो टूर था, अभी इंग्लैंड टूर ऑफ इंडिया था, उसके बाद से आज इस फील की शायद थोड़ा बहुत हल्ला शेरी देने की जरूरत होनी चाहिए. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing, Paji.
Yes, and that's the big thing that we did say it in the second one of the fan zooms before, that the difference between Pujara and Williamson is Williamson is still able to rotate the strike, which is a big thing for Williamson to do. However, Pujara seems to be stuck there and put the pressure onto the other batsman, which has caused a lot of problems for India. And because it hasn't been running, that's fine. Good night, Baji, in Australia. What time is it in Australia?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Oh, still live. So, what's your views on today? It's been an amazing test day cricket. It's going to be even better next session. How do you see this game?
I think first session, I totally believe that I think New Zealand on top, because that's two crucial wicket they have had, Kohli and Pujara, that has put them right on the game. And what exactly I believe, there's a one day is like today is left, so lunch session just going to start, and if India will lose a couple of wickets early, so we don't have any batsman who actually can secure some run. So if India will lose early wicket, and I will definitely want to say that they will lose it, because the way Rishabh Pant is playing, because he have playing just like not like the way he should play, because they don't know exactly wicket हैगी नहीं आगे बढ़ के मारो जो मर्जी करो. I think I understand they want to rotate the scoreboard, but when you don't have early the wickets, Ashwin हैगा, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. You have seen the last last inning, how they have collapsed all the 3 wickets just for in total of 10 runs. So I think ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ India have a very, it's like a बारिश ने बहुत खराब की है game, but as well I think बारिश भी शायद इंडिया ਨੂੰ नहीं बचा सकती if they lose early wicket. And there is another chance for New Zealand. They are actually start in the game. They played a very, very good game, especially when you mentioned Jamieson. I think he took an early wicket, and the New Zealand bowling is firing, and the batting lineup is going to be the same one. So either it will go for a draw, or India will lose the game. But there is no way we can see that New Zealand will lose the game.
Very interesting, good now, Baji. And as I said, another 30 or 40 runs on the table, that puts pressure, that puts the mindset into New Zealand that they can win. So if they need to attack, I think that could play into the hands of India. The problem with India is the form of Bumrah, and we said before Shami should not be picked instead of Siraj, but the real question is, should have Bumrah been picked instead of Siraj? I think that would be the more core, because Bumrah's fall after Shadi hasn't been great. Jaydeep in Jaipur, Udaipur, Jaydeep, we're looking at this. Who would you rather be? What is Rishabh Pant got to be doing in the next half an hour? Play defensive or just play his natural game and take the game away from New Zealand?
I think he should definitely play defensive game, because there is no chance for India to win this game, in my opinion. There is no chance that India is going to win this game, because all the batsmen are down already. There is no batsman left. A wicket keeper and an all-rounder is on the crease to save a match for India, and in my opinion, there is no chance for India to win this game, to clinch a victory from here, because you've lost all the wickets, all the batsmen are not here, and runs on the board, just 100-run lead will do no good for you. You are required to score at least 232, 200, a 200 lead, then you can think of a draw. And if you got even early than this 232 mark, then draw might be difficult as well.
Yeah, and that's the situation of the match, because at the moment, if India can accelerate and get the 200, they can then play their shots, and even if they get 220 or 210, anything like that, that is probably a defensible course, because they can just take the wickets, take the fielders outside to the wickets and prevent New Zealand scoring the big runs. And also they could put pressure on early on as well. Anything under 150, you are going to struggle. Sanjay, to you?
Yes, Paji, and Sunny had mentioned a question that will BJ Watling perform, because keeping in mind it is last session. So we have seen BJ Watling struggling against in swing. That ball by Shami was never predicted by BJ Watling. So I think even if India sets a target somewhere around 150, 180, that will be still pressure for New Zealand because Conway and Williamson are players who can who take time to anchor the innings. We saw Conway. He batted. He scored 54 and he almost consumed 160 balls. And Williamson, whereas consumed 170 balls. Both took more time to set. Conway had played 100 over balls to get 17 runs or so. So opening the bowling with Ishant and Shami would matter because we'll be having swing from both ends. And after 10 overs, I think we should go with Ashwin because before the sun sets, like before the sun gets out, I think bowling out Ashwin will be good because Jadeja with that slow angle he can trouble the batsmen. Ashwin getting in early he can pick quick wickets Tom Latham and Ken Williamson.
Sunny bhai?
Yeah, Paji, I think I want to mention about, considering that this is a final and also that this is the final day of a final. So both the captains would be pretty much hungry to, get that one title under their belt because both have been at the receiving end maximum number of times now. And I think even if India gets somewhat between 180 to 210, then they are in the game. And considering that it's a final and there is a pressure of a final when you are chasing, so no matter what the target is, if you are chasing anything close to 200, you are already there under pressure and you got to hold your nerves. And we've seen what happened with New Zealand in the 2019 World Cup final.
Yes, and mentally, or New Zealand mentally strong enough to take this home? That is the question. Romit, your prediction for the next session. Who is going to win the next session and how many runs will Rishabh Pant score?
See, as I said, I'm not expecting much more runs. Just I want India to bat at least 30 minutes before the next session starts, the next tea break starts. So at least 1.5 hour batting from here, if we can stay and score at least more 50 to 50 runs, then I guess it would be an Indian session. Like for me, like it would show on display that New Zealand has won the session. But that would be enough for India because anything if New Zealand has to chase around 160, they have to chase it in around 40 overs. So in 40 overs chasing such a target, if our bowlers bowl well, then that won't be easy for them. So New Zealand has to change the decision. They has to go for a draw because if their openers get out, might be their openers can charge us. But if their openers get out, if we get the early wickets, then Kane Williamson might change his attitude towards the game and go for a draw. So India needs to bat the next session whole out or at least 30 minutes before the tea break.
Vanata, to yourself, how do you read the next session? Where do you think it's going to happen? Do you think India will be able to survive without losing a wicket in the first 20 minutes?
Yes, they should survive if they have to be still there in the game. So it's very important for Rishabh Pant and Jadeja to bat for next probably 1 hour and take us to the score somewhere around 150 to 160 so that we can give them a good target and our bowlers can defend it. Hopefully, as an optimistic fan, I want India to win. I was hoping that till morning that India will win, but unfortunately things didn't go our way. And things are different right now. I know what is the conversation going in the group for Kohli. I know everything, but I'm not saying anything for the Kohli. I wanted to come
Yes,
back.
we miss you. We miss you. So you have to come back soon, hopefully. But as I said, it was Jameson. Jameson is troubling him, and the extra height, the extra bounce, and he did play the ball away from his body as well. So we can't really say that. But again, the attacking mindset of Kohli, maybe that will survive if India have to field. It will give him that bounce, and it's really going to be testing him as a not just for us. I say if he does lose this, the consequences are going to be quite tough for him. So
So if you see Jamison's delivery are so good. I mean the way he's bowling, I don't think none of our bowlers on the first. I mean when New Zealand was batting, none of our bowlers were looking that threatening. But while Jamison is bowling, every ball looks like he's gonna get a wicket. And when Kane Williamson and Virat Kohli are struggling in such condition, imagine about other batsmen who are batting there. Even Kane Williamson was struggling. He was not able to score very easily. So he was struggling there. So credits to Jamison. He was bowling very well. And again, Kohli is having a pressure being a captain and playing a final. So that pressure is really different, and the kind of mindset he's right now he's having is going behind the trophy. He's not settling down for a draw. That is for sure. That's the reason the kind of cricket now Pant and Jadeja are playing is for a win, not for a draw. He's not gonna settle for a draw. That's for sure. Maybe they might end up losing the match, but they are going for a win for now. Maybe another
wow.
20 minutes, half an hour is going to decide where is this test match going to head. But then let's see, fingers crossed.
That's a brilliant summary. I really, really do think that is probably the mindset of the captain. And if he does win it, I'll hold my hat off, salute him, and say, what a fantastic day. Sunny Bhai?
Yeah, Paji, I've got a question for Chris. Chris, let's just for you. Let's just imagine that you were in the shoes of the New Zealand captain. What would have been your strategy going into the next session? Do you bowl out Jamieson or Wagner in that first 10 overs in this session?
No, I bring back Bolt. I use my two opening bowlers, Southey and Bolt, for the first hour. I use those two bowlers, and I look to do as much damage as I possibly can on Pant. Pant is a crucial person, and I think India's mentality is a lot stronger than England. I think we all have to understand, if England was in India's shoes, it would have been all over by now because we would have just had the normal collapse. But I think Pant is a crucial one for India. The longer he stays there, bearing in mind he's took 28 off 48 balls so far, the longer he stays there and frustrates the New Zealand attack, the better it is for India. And it's very interesting to hear that Kohli's mentality is to go out and win this. I'm not going into lunch today wanting and settling for a draw. I want to win this. Now, when we go back to India, we either go back as a glorious leader, or we go back and people say, well, we got ourselves into a position, maybe we should have settled for a draw. It's not the end of the world. Yes, we did want to win it, and maybe we would have won it if the conditions had been better in the UK. It's just unfortunate that part of the UK has been better weather than other parts of the UK. But I believe, as a Test captain, maybe we should be saying, let's settle for a draw. Let's settle for a draw, because the longer India bat and then force New Zealand to bat again, whether it's 150 on the board or 180 on the board, with the reduced overs, New Zealand aren't going to go all out and attack to get those runs. So as a neutral looking at this, I think it's a draw all the way. But it's interesting for Kohli to think, I'm only in this to win it. I want to win this and win it completely. And if he fails, it could be. Well, it won't be the end of Virat Kohli, that's for sure. But could it be the end of his captaincy in a Test team?
Manata?
So I think both the captains are looking for the win right now. Both the captains are going for the trophy. It's just not Kohli who is going behind the trophy. I think even Kane Williamson, we have seen how because he was also saving his innings yesterday, and he wanted to have the certain amount of runs on the board which can take the lead from India. And he was not playing like he can hit those runs quickly, and he wanted to lose his wicket. He was not doing that. He was playing very safely. And he was there on one end, and other side, whoever was there, like Jamison played a short cameo. He was playing quick runs. Whoever was coming, and he was playing well on the other end, while Kane Williamson was saving his wicket. So I think even Kane Williamson right now is going for the trophy. Both the teams are going for the trophy. But again, the next 1 hour is going to decide, where this is going to really head to. Because if we lose again 2 wickets or maybe another wicket, now we have Ashwin coming in. Then again, we are in a big trouble. I mean, who is going to score runs? Because we don't have our tailenders who can, hit some 40 quick runs. If they hit some 30, 35, it would be more than enough. But we don't have somebody who can hit some quick 40 runs and get us to, a 170 target. No, that's not going to happen. So it's very important for India to not to lose the wicket for next 1 hour. And then probably, and even one more important point is that both should not be scoring right now. Since Pant is already there for like past few hours and he knows the line and length of the bowlers which they are bowling with. So he has to stick in there. He has to hit and Jadeja should play the anchor role. Like what Kane Williamson was doing exactly yesterday. He should not be hitting right now because if both started hitting, then both the wickets are gone. I'm sure. So next 1 hour is going to be very important for India.
Sunny bhai?
Yeah, Paji, the next question is for you. Considering that India have set a total of, let's say, 210 for New Zealand, and you are in the shoes of Indian captain, what would be your strategy considering New Zealand openers both are left-handed? Do you bring Ashwin straight away with the new ball, considering the hard seam is there? Will it assist him more as compared to the older ball?
No, I'd definitely start with Shami and Ishant. Shami, second innings, Shami, definitely the best bowler in world cricket in the second innings is Shami bhai. He's done it in the first innings, so he could do it in the second innings. So definitely Shami and Ishant to start. Just disagree with Chris on his question. I would definitely have Jamieson bowling because he looks, and Bolt, because Bolt is very good with the left hand, two left-handers. I'll have Bolt and Jamieson, and probably give Saudi a rest for a few overs because I think Jameson is going to be the key for them. But for us, it's going to be Shami, and then bring on Ishant. I think where India does have the advantage because if they take the wickets, you look at the attacking batsmen that New Zealand have, and you really struggle to think other than Jameson and maybe Saudi, who look like Bradman. I was comparing Saudi to Bradman in the first innings. Those are the two players that play the strokes. All the other players are pretty conservative. So if India can get that 185, 190 score, it'll be really interesting to see how New Zealand will tinker with their batting because the fact is a lot of their players are very classical, straight players, and they don't really attack the ball. Yes, Manata.
Yeah, so if we are giving them a target of around 175 to 180, that's a pretty short target. You can say the mid one. So I think New Zealand batsmen might be confused whether to go for a win or whether to settle down for a draw. So they might be confused, and if they're going for a win, they'll try to hit. So by that chance, we can get some quick wickets because we need to get them all out in the 50 overs, whatever overs we are handling it to them. But we need to get quick wickets. So I think this is the right decision. 175 or 180 would be the ideal target. Give it to them and confuse them if they want to go for a win or probably for a draw. And then give them those balls wherein they start hitting the six and then try to pick up wickets because we have such short time wherein we can't, if there was another half day, I think probably then we would have been, gone for a good amount of play with good overs. But then right now we don't have time, we don't have overs, and everything is just messed up. So
JD,
how to just get the result. Yeah, go ahead,
JD, how would you approach this? If it's 185, do you think New Zealand have the batting power to get the 185?
They are going to chase 185, that's for sure, because in yesterday's second session, they scored 114 runs with Jamieson and Saudi, attacking the ball. They smacked 2 sixes, and Indian batsmen hadn't had any six so far in the match. So they look, to attack the ball. So 180 is not going to be a safe target when you're looking for a draw. And win is not an option for me. I think Captain Kohli and management should not look for a win from here because if you look for a win, you might end up losing the match. So win is not an option. And if you are setting up a target of less than 200, then it's going to be difficult to draw the match as well. I think 232 on the board is going to be the key. Set up a target of 201, 220, 200. That is going to be a key. to give a target to New Zealand batsmen, and then you can think of a draw. And less than that, it's going to be very difficult. The World Test Championship gone, in my opinion.
Vanata, you?
Yeah, so if we are giving them a target of 220, do you think we will have sufficient overs to, bowl out? I mean, there should
I'm
be
Yeah,
not
that's the
overs
question.
also, right?
Yeah.
I'm
The
not
question
of the
is,
opinion. I'm not of the opinion to get a victory from here. You are looking,
Yeah,
for Indian team to get a victory from here, but practically, if you see, it's not possible. It's Test
not
cricket,
possible.
and you have to play, with your mind, not with the power of your bat.
Agree.
okay, Chris, as the neutral fan, where do you see this game? Do you see it an Indian victory, a draw, or a New Zealand victory?
Well, I'll just keep on going on. The next hour, the first hour after lunch is crucial. If India lose either one or the worst case scenario lose 2 wickets, then it swings down to New Zealand. If India put a score of 150, anything over 150 for New Zealand to have a go at, then with the amount of overs that could be left, then New Zealand could go all out to attack that score. But if India take a couple of early wickets, the pressure is then back on New Zealand, and New Zealand then have to defend what's left of their wickets, whilst India are on the up. So I think it's very crucial. My personal opinion, I think it's going to be a draw. And I know
Okay, so
not what you want to hear, but I think it's got a draw written all over it. And I think it's got a draw written all over it when we've lost so many days play due to the weather. But I have just got one thing to say.
yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow. The Falcons are coming for the Bears.
Oh yes, tomorrow. I'll see you at Edgbaston tomorrow. Can't wait. Hopefully the sun will be shining and we will enjoy beautiful Edgbaston. Like last week was a washout, and we will see what happens tomorrow. And the Bears are playing really well, so looking forward to that. So Sunny Bhai, draw New Zealand or England?
I think, Paji, as everyone mentioned about the first hour being the crucial hour, because that will decide where the game will go, whether it will be going in New Zealand's favor, India's favor, or it's going to be a draw. I'm saying that it's somehow still 50-50. You can't pick out a winner unless and until you see that first hour, after the lunch session, because if India manages to, let's say, even get 40 runs in that session without losing a wicket, then New Zealand are on the back foot. But if New Zealand get 2 wickets, then India are on a back foot. So for me, it's a 50-50 situation, and I can't pick any one of whether it's going to be India, New Zealand, or a draw.
And Vanata, final question to you. You've said India possibly winning. Would this be the biggest victory of history of cricket if India win the Test match from here?
So I'll tell that in the winning percentage. So 98% is going to be draw, 2% India winning as an optimistic fan, and 0% New Zealand winning. So of course, if we win this, so if you see the India versus Australia, I think we had hardly chances of winning that Test match. So from 0%, it was we won the Test match. Here we at least have 8% according to all other predictions. So miracles happen in cricket. At the end of the day, it's cricket. So I am hoping that next hours till 11 p.m. IST, there will be some miracle which will be happening. Yeah,
Chris?
go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, look. I just want to change the subject very slightly. Cricket bringing us all together, and it's wonderful to have cricket back on the world stage. But to my friends in India, stay safe and look after yourself.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
That's a brilliant message for us to end today's program, because I say we're starting again now. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining the World Cricket Fans Forum. Send us your stories, join in the Facebook group, and join us on the Rajasthan Royals Instagram, and all of us are there, and we will hopefully see you after the game. Come on, India, Jai Hind. Come on.
Come on, the
Jai
Kiwis.
Hind.